Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing today? Is everyone okay? How was your trading last week? Oh, great. That's fantastic. Good, good. Nice. So before we start, guys, please make sure you subscribe and you turn on your notifications on our YouTube channel. As I told you the last time, we are just a little bit away before the 30K subscribers. So if you please give us a thumbs up and a like. And on the video, of course, if you like this video, just please make sure you like it so we understand the feedback. Okay, and also you can follow us on Instagram to keep up with the updates, and on Telegram as well. Whenever we go live, you're going to be aware of that. So just before we start, as always, this webinar is for training and educating purposes. All the trades I will possibly open and close, it's based on the way I see the market, and you make your own judgment before you open and close any trades. Okay, don't just blindly follow. Now, for this week, we have news events as well, like every week. However, it looks like a bit quiet week. Also, we are going towards the end of the month. As you remember, last week we have the Fed, the Bank of Japan, and major other banks telling us about their interest rate decisions. So every major bank came out with a bit positivity, okay, except the Bank of Japan, which they remain to minus 0.1%. Today, earlier in the Asian session, we had the Chinese bank reporting their interest rate decision, which they kept them on 3.7%. Usually, the Chinese economy used to affect quite a lot the Australian market. We will see now with this rearrangement of the world what will happen. So that's all for today, the major news events. And tomorrow, because we're not going to have a session tomorrow morning, just be aware that during the Asian session, the Reserve Bank of Australia, they're going to have their meeting minutes, and later on during the US session, the Canada will report their retail sales, which they expect a good increases from 0% last time to go to 1.8%. Okay, it's a significant increase of that. So let's go through the charts. And as usual, guys, just to make sure can everyone see my screen? I'm just doing a circle here. Everyone can see the screen. What about the people on the live chat on YouTube? How are you guys doing today? I don't see you typing anything, and I'm worried. Is everyone okay? Okay, great. So, as it's the beginning of the week, I like to have a quick look on the weekly charts to see what the price action done. What about they retest levels, they bounce from levels. Good morning, everyone. I see more people, they are joining us. And that's great. Good morning, Isaac, Vasilena, Hartmut, Sarkar, Bern, Duncan. So on the pound USD, on the weekly chart, we set for a few weeks now that we are currently in a big downtrend. We were expecting a close lower than this low point here. However, the market got rejected at this two support zones. So maybe this week we're gonna experience a bit of push higher. Okay, guys, try to understand how all these major currencies correlated together. Okay, you can see that we had a lower low here, but the market was unable to close lower than this point. So we have this rejection. On the Euro USD weekly chart, we have this double bottom. The market was unable to push lower than this low point, and buyers, they stepped in and they rejected the lowest prices, and now the market left this tail behind on a double bottom, which is a signal that the market this week can push higher. Aussie USD weekly, we can see pretty much similar pattern. We have the sellers try to push lower, were unable to create a new lower low, and also they left behind with this rejection on the prices. New Zealand USD weekly, similar. We have a double bottom and we have a rejection around this level. Buyers, they most likely want to push the price higher. Do you guys see a bit of correlation between these four pairs? And if I move on, you will see a bit more correlation, of course. Do we all understand that USD behaved with a bit of weakness towards the end of the week, last week? In all the pairs, pound USD rejection, Euro USD double bottom rejection, Aussie USD double bottom rejection, New Zealand USD double bottom rejection. So all of them, most likely, they have the tendency to push higher this week. So if we go to the daily chart or the 4-hour chart, we will see, remember we were talking about this, we're talking about this most likely new establishment of an uptrend, and we said that if the market, if you guys remember, for those you were participating on last Friday webinar, if the market is going to come to retest this level here, which we draw the line, we have this trend line which it shows that a trend is developing. Okay, this one here, it's also a FIB retracement, a Fibonacci retracement around 50 to 61.8%. And if the market is going to stay well above and it can create a new higher high, most likely we can experience a push higher, at least to retest this area here of resistance. Okay. If you're going to see the rest of the pairs, you will see that pound performs a bit weak in general. So let's go to the Euro USD. We said rejection here. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we can see a stronger euro than the pound. So it came here, make a higher high. We have our area of watching here. So the market is pushing higher. Okay. Now we expect that it's going to push higher to retest this area here. Now, if it's going to come, we will find it out. If not, we will see what is going to happen. Okay. And remember, our purpose here is to have our trading plan with entries, stop loss, and exit, and we let the market do its thing. Our purpose is not to know what the market is going to do next. It's to have our edges and to trade our edge. Sorry, a question from Hotea. The charts on the full screen, please? Yes, I do have the charts on the full screen. Is anyone has any issues except Ion with the charts, guys? Do you see the charts on full screen, or is it something problem with the charts? Can you please let me know on the chat below? Thank you. So that's for Euro USD. Australian US dollar on the 4-hour, we see that the market tried to make a higher high. Now the market made a lower low. Yeah, me too. I'm good. Okay, what about the guys on YouTube? Guys, are the charts okay? Do you have an issue with the charts? No problem, okay. Johan, can you please specify a bit if it's something probably, because looks like that you are the only one who has some issue with the charts. Make sure your internet connection it's good and it's established. Yeah, Vasilena, I said that maybe you are not on the full screen, Johan, on your side. Just to please make sure you use, Johan, make sure you use this button here, the maximize button. So press it to go on full screen. Okay, and let me know if you still have any issue. Thank you. So I wouldn't try to go long now on the Australian dollar, US dollar, because on the 4-hour, you see, we put a lower low. That shows that Australian dollar, it's a bit weaker along the rest. Now, if we're going to go to the New Zealand US dollar, we see the market up. We go on the 4-hour chart. We see the market again, higher lows and higher highs. Retest these levels here. Now it's trying to push higher. It looks that buyers, they stepped in. We will see any other pullback here. If I'm going to have a double bottom, I'm going to be ready to take it to the long side. I'm still on the sidelines. USD Canadian dollar. USD Canadian dollar on the daily chart, guys, if you can see, it printed a double top. However, we see that buyers they used to be in control for quite a long time. Now in front of us, we have to deal with that rejection in the market. On the 4-hour chart, we are still in an uptrend. Guys, I would like to make sure that you understand the way I do the analysis, going from the weekly chart to the 4-hour chart and trying to find the cycles in the market, the higher highs, higher lows in an uptrend, or the lower highs, lower lows in a downtrend. That help us with entries. Okay, so on the weekly chart, on the daily, we have a double top, but here on the 4-hour, we have still higher highs. If sellers, they stepped in here, and if this is a very big area of resistance where many selling orders, they're going to kick in. So we're going to see a lower high and a lower low. Then we're going to have an established downtrend on the 4-hour chart. Any pullback, I'm willing to take this to the long side. Okay, if we have rejection here, I'll give you a tip from the market. The market usually around these major resistance areas, what do? They try for a push higher again, okay? And around the middle of this area here, the sellers, they are stepping in aggressively and they push the market lower. So because we don't know what is going to happen, and again, it's not our job to know if you're going to buy from here, because we are in an already extensive uptrend. And as you hear me saying many times, this impulse moved with no major pullback. Comparing to this impulse move, this one here, it's very small impulse move. Okay, this one here had a lot of buying orders. This one here, from the length, it has it's a weak impulse. So maybe the buyers, they are not as strong now here to push the US dollar higher. So if you're going to buy somewhere here, just make sure to manage your risk accordingly. So USD JPY, we experienced for a long time now that Japanese yen, it's relatively weak currency. So there is only one consequence, that the opponent is going to just push higher. In this case, the USD is performing quite strong. On the 4-hour chart, we have a clear double top here. If you are trading divergence, I'm sure if you're going to draw your divergence, if you're going to draw them on the chart, you're going to see a picture like this. Okay, I'm just talking purely from experience. So at this area here, if you are trading ranges, maybe you want to take this on the downside because of the Japanese yen weakness. I wouldn't go. There is one pair which is a bit more clear. You will see that at the end. So I wouldn't go to do anything with that. And again, that's the way I trade. If you are trading differently and that's applying your trading strategy, of course, you have to do what you think is best for you. Okay. Now, JBP, JPY. Previously, we have on the weekly chart some retest of this level here. However, after this retest, the sellers, they weren't able to push the price lower and make a lower low. The buyers, they stepped in around this area and they rescued the prices. The market now is leaving behind with this tail. So maybe buyers, they're going to step in. However, JPY, it's relatively weak. Pound, we saw it's relatively weak. So I'm not keen to go and trade this one. If you go on the 4-hour chart, you will see that we have this higher high series. If this is going to keep to the upside, I don't know. If you are taking trades like you enter here and you have your stops here and you target some breakouts, if that's your strategy and you test it, you back test it, that it works. So definitely you do what's best for your trading. We have the Euro JPY on the weekly chart. We put a higher high here. We have this pin bar with this massive tail on the weekly chart. It shows that buyers are willing to push higher. On the 4-hour chart, we have this lower low, which didn't follow through, and last few trading days, it went to a higher high. So after this higher high, if we're going to have, because it looks a good, it's a strong relatively impulse move. If I'm going to have a push lower here, somewhere Fibonacci 50%, and it's matching pretty well with the last swing in the market, I would like to see a move back here and enter a trade from there, okay, and target this high level. So because this is going to be a good risk reward to risk ratio. Euro Canadian dollar, if you remember, it's been a while we were talking about this pair. We are on daily chart. The market was retesting this one here, a couple of positions there. Then remember I talked about this one, but I didn't participate because it wasn't a well-formed bullish engulfing. However, the market pushed higher. Okay, we are going towards this high here. In general, we saw from the USD Canadian dollar that the Canadian dollar is relatively weak. Okay, but tomorrow they expect a very strong outcome from the retail sales, so we will see what happens. So far, we just experienced a weak Canadian dollar and a strong euro. So as you see from last week, and if you remember in the last webinar, I was talking about this level here, and I said If the market is going to retest this area here, I'm willing to participate if I find a good entry and to target this level here. But the market just keep going higher and higher and higher. Okay, and that's okay. Sometimes when we are missing trades because they don't come back to our area of interest, we better stay calm. We better sit with our capital and not rush to participate into a move that we're going to regret later. Okay. Pound Canadian dollar on the 4-hour also put this higher high. This is a quite strong impulse move. At many occasions, the market, it doesn't come to retrace 50% of the move or more. When it's very strong move, the buyers are aggressive. We have shallow pullbacks. I like to draw Fibonacci to see some kind of levels. 23.6, it's not in any one of my trading strategies to participate at this level here. I prefer neither 38.2. I prefer to go somewhere around 50 to 61.8. That's how I trade. Okay, so I'm flat on this. I'm not willing to just buy it right now. Euro Australian dollar, it's just going sideways. As we talked many times, we have lots of obstacles to go through if the market is going to push higher. If it's going to go lower, we have this area of support here. So we have this room, which on the lower time frames, not even on the 4-hour chart, if you're trading intraday, 15 minutes, 1 hour, it's a quite enough room to make some good trades. Euro in New Zealand on the daily chart, what do we see here? The market, it's just hovering around, so I'm not interested to participate at all here until we have a clear picture. Pound Australian, remember it's been more than 2 weeks we were talking about this area here, then the market pushed lower, then it got rejected here, then put an inside bar, so it means it didn't show any clear direction. Now the sellers are trying to push lower, so it's very mixed picture here. Okay, if we go to pound New Zealand on the 4-hour, maybe today we're going to see a clear move. If we're going to see a move like this and we're going to clear this level here, I'm willing to find a pullback and enter and target these low points here. And why I'm staying out and not participate immediately, whether I see it as a good pair, this one, it's because this strong bullish candle from last week, if it has a lot of buying pressure here, the market should have followed through, but the market didn't follow through, and it looks like more than the 70%. It looks like it already retraced 80% of this move here, so it doesn't show any strength from buyer side. Okay, so I would like to clear this low here and to pull back and then to enter with a targeting this zone here. Euro JBP, I didn't like on the daily chart. Remember, guys, I think it was last Wednesday we talked about this breakout, and the next day the sellers, they stepped in and they retraced almost 100% of the move. The day after, they tried to push lower. Buyers, they stepped in, but because of this instant push lower here, I don't trust this market that it has a strong tendency from the buyers to buy aggressively. I didn't see that, so I prefer to stay out because I believe somewhere at this area here, we're going to see some sort of reaction. Maybe not, maybe the market is going to just push higher, but I'm really selective with my entries and with my trading. So for me, I'm flat on that. For me, this one is a good pair, Australian dollar, New Zealand, because the market here on the daily, it put a nice double top. It shows that buyers, they got rejected. It put a bearish engulfing here, this candle here, this combination. And last Friday, it made finally a lower low. It cleared this swing. So it was higher high, double top. That was the last swing low, which now it got broken with a retest here and a nice price action on the 4-hour chart. I'm definitely interested to sell this and target at least these levels down here. Okay, so if I find an entry somewhere here, up to here, with a stop somewhere around here, I can make more than 1-to-1. But we will see. Maybe the market will never do that. Maybe the market is going to just sell down, and that's going to happen. If that's going to happen, that's going to happen. Okay. And the gold, it's a really mixed picture. We tried to push higher here, then bearish engulfing. It didn't follow through. Buyers stepped in. We are back in the range. So I'm really, really flat on gold as well. So let's go to some questions here. I don't see many questions coming from the live streaming on YouTube. Only one question from Joy. Joy is asking, slight question, which tool do you use for drawing? Joy, because I'm presenting on Zoom, Zoom has itself an annotated tool, so I just use that one. Okay. What about many questions from the Zoom participants? So let's go through. We're preparing for a long. Sorry, before we had Surav, I hope I'm pronouncing correct your name. You were asking, sir, every JPY pair preparing for long-term sale. Suvar is asking, is every JBP pair preparing for long-term sale? I'm not in the position to say if it's preparing for a long sale, but I frankly believe that because we are in an extensive uptrend in general with Japanese yen, yeah, we expect to experience some sort of sale. On the safe side, I will say that if I will find an entry here, I will target, I'm not going to be aggressive, and I will target this point here because you can get around 3-to-1 down there. So I don't know if they're going to experience a long-term sale, but some correction definitely we expect. Okay. Then let's see other questions. Sorry for the question. No, don't be sorry, Morlin. Morlin is asking, New Zealand USD, we search a buy on about 0.62885 question mark. So you're saying New Zealand USD up. What it is 0. Up 62.885. 62.885. Yeah. So Morlin is asking, should we expect a buy here? I was expecting this buy here from last week, to be honest. However, I didn't like this candle here. That's why I didn't participate. But yes, this area around here, it's an area of interest. Okay, we have some rejections here, as you can see, these rejections here, this rejection here, this rejection here, then a big momentum helped the market to break through. Then we have a rejection here and buyers stepped in. So yeah, it's a significant area for traders, this one. Let's go to the next one. Kindly check on HK50. Let's see. Sorry, because I don't look at all HK50. I don't even see it here. Can you just, Isaac, can you just please tell me how do you find it on your MT5, the HK50? Okay, so to make sure. And Dow Jones, let's go to Dow Jones. About Dow Jones, someone's asking about Dow Jones. On the weekly chart, we can see that we are still pushing lower. However, usually the markets, they have the tendency at some point to go back and fill their gaps because there are orders left unfulfilled in the market. So, but regardless that, we are still in a downtrend with a strong close last week. So this week, if we go on the 4-hour, we see that on the 4-hour chart, we see we have a strong impulse move. Now the momentum, it's getting lower and lower. It's getting weaker and weaker, sorry. So we expect a kind of maybe push back a little bit, at least to retest this level, and then maybe to keep selling again, okay? But it's still a downtrend. However, at this point we are right now, I wouldn't suggest anyone to, I wouldn't consider to go and sell it because we see a kind of weakness on this impulse move comparing to the previous one. So maybe buyers, they're gonna buy for a while, okay? We will see. Bitcoin, user Dow Jones. Thank you, Evcharisto. Pavel, do you speak Greek? Okay, so that was we're gonna see the Bitcoin as well. So let's go back to page 50. Up. Forex and have visited. That's nice. CFD, I think is this one here. Why it doesn't come? I think for some reason, sorry, but like it doesn't come. It doesn't come to my list here, guys. The HK50. So sorry for that. I will check for next time. Okay, I promise you. Bitcoin, I have it here. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it's selling off. It's keep dropping down. Okay, we have this downtrend. We are on the weekly. Last week we have a big sell-off here. Usually the markets, they are retracing about 50%, and that's a general observation. Okay, they retrace about 50% on strong moves before they keep going. On the daily chart, yesterday, because there's 24/7 on the 19th, yeah, yesterday we had this inside bar, market trying to push a bit higher. On the 4-hour chart though, it's a bit mixed here. We have this V shape. Sometimes it's a signal for inverse head and shoulder if you're trading this pattern, okay, which it can just push higher. Or if the sellers are still in demand and they want to push the price lower, they will definitely defend their area and they're going to keep going, okay? But at least for now, you have to understand that the strong bearish movement, it's not very obvious, at least for now. We will see what will happen around this level, because really the 20,000, it's a key level for Bitcoin, and it's been many years. It's been since, if I remember, since 2019 to be retest this level. So significant volatility is going to come at this price area. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. It was an honor to spend this 30 minutes viewing the market with you. I wish you to have a happy trading. Okay. And guys, please make sure, let me just go you through one for a second. Okay. Just please make sure you go to the website of today. I'm going to host a webinar about Bollinger Bands. Go to the Admirals website. You go to you go to education, Forex and CFD webinars. You will find here Bollinger Bands trading, how to best use them. It's going to take place in almost 8 hours from now. You can sign up here. If you want to learn about Bollinger Bands, a powerful strategy. I used to trade it a lot, especially when I was doing intraday trading. But also you can trade on the daily charts and on the 4-hour charts if you want, because we want to talk all the time. We're talking about market behavior and price actions on these webinars. So I will encourage you just to increase your market knowledge and the trading world knowledge. If you want to come and participate on this webinar, you're going to have a really positive outcome. I promise you that. Okay, that's all from me for now. So hopefully I will see you in 8 hours on the Bollinger Bands webinars, and I wish you happy trading. Okay, bye everyone.